All right, welcome everybody to our winter solstice vision board meditation. We are joined here by the lovely Lori Gardner. Lori is a Harvard-trained Jersey girl, and she is an expert in helping people with organization and following their gut to live their most optimal life. She has a book called Shine Your Light and another one on the way, and has helped, top individuals, Fortune 500 companies, on and on and on, to discover their best path in life. And we're very honored to have her here leading this meditation tonight as we are wrapping up 2022 and looking into 2023. So with that, and we love her a lot.
Thanks,
So
Steph.
with that said, Lori, please take it away.
All right. Well, great to be here, everyone. And to those of you who are watching this because it was too cold to go outside or you hate Zoom, I hope you get a lot out of this recording as well. So I am going to do some things that are a little bit different. I'm first going to ask you guys a couple of questions and then use my own gut to decide where to go from there. So you guys all know each other and you want to go a quick go around. Let's do this. We'll do a quick go around with your name. And what I'd like you to do is answer two questions. The first one is, how in tune with you are you with your own intuition, with your own gut instinct on a scale of 1 to 3? 1, like, what's that? 2, like, sometimes I listen to my deepest knowing, sometimes not. And 3 is like, oh yeah, heck, I hope, you have something to say that I actually learn. And then the second question is, have you tried New Year's Eve resolutions, vision boards, and all this stuff before and found yourself frustrated that some or all of your vision is still not manifesting? So question number 1, scale 1 to 3, how in tune are you with your own gut instinct? And question number 2, you can just say yes or no, like, oh man, are we doing this again? Because how come it's still not happening for me? Because I'm going to tailor our tools according to what I hear. Okay. All right, so let's put Carrie on the spot. You want to go first?
Yes, so I'm Dr. Carrie Barlow, and are we just saying name and then answer the questions?
Sure, where you're calling from if you feel like it.
Okay, I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, and I'm, let's see, the first one about my intuition, I'd say I'm pretty good with my intuition. I pretty much follow it, but I know I'm going to learn something from you. So, and then the second one, the vision board, I would say I don't do them enough, honestly. So the one that I can remember years and years ago, actually, everything did finally manifest, but I don't do them enough. So yes, no.
Yeah, I love it. All right, Lynn, what about you?
Well, I'd say I was like a 2.5. I try to listen. I think I am. I've been told I'm very intuitive, and I think I am, but I don't always listen to myself. And by the way, I'm in Templeton, California. And vision boards I don't do. I think the last one I did was with a plexus. Gosh, what was that we did? But anyway, it was something that I joined in on rather than doing my own because I thought about it. So
yeah. And rather than whether you do vision boards as a tool or self, what I'm really trying to find out is, have you ever set intentions like, oh, I really want these things to happen for me or to manifest for me, and found that some or all of them are not still manifesting for you? That's really what I'm whether you use vision board, New Year's resolutions, you just, toss it out in the shower. Yeah. Have you got some things that you've been wanting to manifest that still have not yet shown up in your life?
Yeah, I'd like to be a diamond.
I'd like to have a diamond. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yes, and a lot of it just stems around organizational skills and creating time. I'm doing a lot better That's one of the things that I have manifested and really worked on, but I still feel like I'm not creating my own space for that.
I love that. All right. So that's part of what we're going to get really real. I am a Jersey girl. We're going to get very real about manifesting. And this, I think I only have 30 minutes, but I'm going to get as deep as I can, as quick as I can. That's kind of the way that I operate. So I'm the head of Shine Your Light, which is a nonprofit that does mental wellness and leadership. And I have been doing this about 30 years. I'm trained in about 6 dozen Eastern, Western wellness techniques at this point. And everything I do is really about, get to the root and shift it, get to the root and shift it, get to the root and shift it. So we don't have to spend years and years and years. We can, or hours and hours and hours on a meditation cushion. We can, those things are fun. But when we drop into our own deepest knowing, we can really go there quickly. And then because I like to have practical steps, we don't want to just go, oh, that's interesting. Oh, an awareness. What are you going to do with that? Act on the aha. So that's part of what we're going to do with the manifesting, and why I'm asking some of these questions already of like, okay, let's sort of see what our starting point is. Awesome. All right, Deb, what about you?
I'm in Tascadero. As far as me having intuition, I think I am a 3, but a 0, or like, let's say a 1 at listening, finding that quiet time to actually tune into it. But when I do, then I'm really intuitive. So it's really just making the space. And just recently, I like when I have these things in my, I talk to everybody talks in their head, right? But I think a lot of it is intuitive stuff. And I just think of it as not, but it really is. So I'm kind of trying to listen to that more. Because I think they're like direct.
Yeah. So Deb, let me underscore that, because that's a really common question. I was doing a workshop, I think in Boston, and this woman's like, Lori, I have a lot of voices in my head. How the heck am I supposed to know which one is my intuition? Right. And I thought that was a really good question. So the way I like to answer that question is by what it is not. So the voice of your intuition does not slice and dice and pros and cons and analysis paralysis. That's not your deepest knowing. Same thing as your intuition. It does not swing around, Buddhists call it monkey mind, tree to tree, like, oh my God, I'm swayed by my emotion. I feel this way. I feel that way. That is not your intuition. It does not get stuck in the same poor me story again and again and again. Same excuses, same poor me, same blame. That is not your intuition. The voice of your intuition is calm, it's clear, and it doesn't need to repeat itself. And in New Jersey, when someone said something really obvious, it was some other kid in the school would be like, well, no duh, right? So it's
I say that.
Yeah, like no
Jersey
duh.
girl too, yeah.
Yeah, no duh. I knew that. I already knew that. It's that clear, calm, I already knew that. Some people say they felt that way when they knew who to marry, where to live, when to leave a job. Like we have moments of accessing, but it's like it's a voice of, it's very peaceful and clear.
It's kind of interesting because I like when I'm talking to Steph a lot, it comes like I get like this, it just comes into my brain. I'm like, I have to tell you this. Yeah, I have to tell you this. But for me, like myself, like when it comes to like my stuff, it's not so clear. You know what I mean?
That's
for
common.
Other people, it's super clear. Like, oh, okay, I have to say this to you because it's just coming in my brain. I need to tell you.
I love it. So Debbie, when you're trying to think about what you're trying to manifest in the world, whatever health goal, home goal, work goal, it doesn't even matter what the goal is. Have you been in the position also like Carrie and Lynn have shared that like, oh gosh, yeah, there's still some things I want to have happen, or you have all of your stuff pretty much?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I think the things that I really, again, I think it comes down to like making the space, making the time to really like be in it and sink into it and do it.
For sure.
I think when I do, like when I want something really bad, I mean, of course I want to be diamond too, and I want it for all of my friends, but I know like things will just naturally fall into place the way they're supposed to fall into place. But I don't make vision boards. I made one
Yeah, and I don't want y'all getting hung up on tools.
Yeah,
You know how many tools
yeah.
there are? Vision boards, Ouija boards.
No, I think it's,
You know,
I think it's
doing the
but-
pendulum, like throwing it out to the ocean with
Yeah.
rocks. Like, so many,
Yeah.
we're doing a vision board because that's a fun one. It's a fun ritual, but it's not like, oh my God, if I don't do a vision board, my dreams will not come. I haven't done a vision board since I was like 17. I've done a lot of other things, but you know, you don't always
Yeah.
have like stuff around to make one anyway, but
Yeah,
fun. It's a really fun visual to have, but that's, yeah, I hear what you're saying. Okay, well,
Yeah.
good. So, Steph, bring us on home. What about you?
All right. I am from Templeton as well. And my kind of intuition scale, I would say a 2, and it's much improved after taking Lori's course.
I
I
give you more
would
credit than
say-
2, Steph. I give you at least a 3.
I do too,
I-
Steph.
you know, and what I will say is that I am getting better at identifying it. And also in retrospect, it is like crystal clear to me now, like that was it.
Exactly.
So there's that. And then as far as the vision board, yes, I have done the last one I did. It had all kinds of travel stuff on it. I had Oprah on it, and then COVID happened. But I was like, you know, someone told me you need to stand in front of your vision board for 17 seconds every morning and like envision the things and feel the feels. And I've done that. I've done the ones that are like they fall behind your desk and you forgot that they were there, and then you find them with like spider webs on them. So
Yeah.
that's
So
kind of, and yes, there are things that certainly have come to pass, and there are things that I'm still waiting for.
perfect. All right. How much time do I have, Steffi? I only have half an hour.
Yeah, I mean, I'm flexible, but
Okay.
I
Yeah,
don't want to
I'm
take too
too.
much of your time. So
Okay. Well, so here's what I'm thinking, guys. So first, I'm just going to give you some manifesting tips. Then we're going to drop in and calm the noise, because you cannot hear the voice. First of all, you cannot manifest properly if you're not in that deepest knowing place. If you're all Twitter-pated in the stress and the worry and the overwhelm or the depression or the anxiety, the to-do list, that's too much static. So you can't even get clear half the time on what you really want or why it's not happening when you're in that. So we're going to, after I give just some broad strokes, we're going to drop down into that space, and then I'll run us through, based on time, at least one, maybe 2 or 3 other fun manifesting techniques that don't require any sort of props except yourself. And then that will lead nicely into, based on what you see and get from within, then you'll be able to do the vision board or whatever else you want to do with it. Okay. So here's some broad, and I don't know if all you guys are on my blog list or not, but I wrote a blog called Planting and Harvesting Your Dreams. And, and so if you don't get it, you can get my email from staff afterward. But some of the tips that come with this idea of like, I want all these things, which is superhuman. It's human for us to want, to yearn, to have hopes and dreams, right? And then it's also hard to tease out sometimes, well, hope versus, expectations. And what's the difference? That's another blog I wrote, Hope versus Expectations. And if I boil it down in a nutshell, here's some key tips. When we're putting it out there, this is what I'm really wanting and craving and hoping. When we try to control it too much, it has to look like this on this time, my timeline with these details. It's going to be these people in this place. When we really, over control the way it plays out, we squelch the opportunity for the universe to give us something even better. So it's not that we can't have some specific things. Gee, I'd love to be diamond by Valentine's Day or something. You can set them, but keep it open. And so I leave it open to the universe. I want to be diamond. I would love to have it be this year. And then when is up to you and how. Or I would like to be a leader in this new health field. Maybe it's not by becoming diamond at all. maybe some other cool opportunity comes up and you're going to be a presenter at the next conference for Plexus or whatever else. Like, oh my gosh, that got me out there even more than if I had gotten my little chain going at a bigger level. So you want to leave it open for the universe to give you something even bigger. And so a mantra I like to say is this or something better. This or something better. Like I toss out, yeah, I really hope that the Road to Joy, it's in front of Random House in a week. I really hope it gets picked up. If not, this or something better. The book is supposed to get out there. I don't know how. This or something better. And another one I like as a mantra is it's on universe time. Because I can't be the only one who's like, it has to happen by my birthday. If I don't find my guy by tomorrow, I'm doomed. It's never gonna happen. Like, that's ridiculous, right? Gee, it would be nice while I'm still young and vibrant and healthy to meet my, beloved, this or something better. Maybe, I decide I don't want one and dodged a bullet by not having to, deal with his TV in the background or whatever. So, this or something better, it's on universe time. Being really mindful of when you are hoping openly versus putting very specific expectations on the details of how it's going to play out that can squelch you receiving something even better than what you thought. I'll give you a quick example. I was really forgetting my own advice when I was looking for a place to live in Berkeley. I was like, and I have to have a house and I want it to be like this and in this neighborhood. And how come it's not happening by this month and on and on. So it's like, I even drew my little manifesting board, my little house. And I draw like a fourth grader with a little chimney with the curly smoke. I'm horrible. Anyway, so I had it up there and my whole thing. And I was like, gosh, it just isn't happening. When I finally remembered, like, right, leave it open for the universe to provide something maybe even better. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'd like a house in the Elmwood of Berkeley. Maybe I get it, maybe not. And instead I end up in this beautiful 2-story house in Cambria overlooking the ocean. I was like, now I get it. This is way better than that little crappy thing I was looking at in that, neighborhood in Berkeley that I could afford. Right. So this is something better. You want to, my intention, and we'll do a visualization, was a bigger space that felt more expansive and bright, where I could feel creative. But I was dictating too many details. I had to be in this neighborhood at this time, blah, blah, blah. Does that make sense? So another tip for manifesting, as I already mentioned, you cannot do it when you are Twitter-pated. Official psych term for in the noise, you can't effectively manifest from a place of desperation energy or stress or despair or frustration. That is, imagine if you were trying to meet friends that way, like, you be my friend, how about tomorrow? How about tonight? And you'd be like, well, lovely to meet you, lady. I'm out of here, right? Like, that's not the vibe you want to put out. And if we're gripped, like, oh my gosh, again, it'd be like trying to get a present. If you're trying to give me a present and my fists are closed, you can't put anything in my hand because I'm like, oh my God, it has to happen. Like too much stress energy. So it's much more of the, okay, I really want this or something better. It's on universe time, etc. Now, one more tip, and then we're going to dive in. I'm sorry, I'm doing like a whole course in like 10 minutes. So the other thing that Deb hit on is when do you take outward steps to create and make things happen when you're manifesting? And when is it time to kick back and be more in receiving mode, right? And typically these modalities are, attributed to male outwardly pushing energy versus female receiving. I don't do the genders around it, but it's just when am I like co-creating, make it happen? When am I like, it's time to just chill out? And this is not the season or not the time to be pushing. And this is where your gut instinct is critical because your head is going to say, push, 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 or your stress is going to go, 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 go. Or maybe I'm depressed. Screw it. I'm done. Nothing happening. I'm done. I don't have time, or I don't have money, or I don't have, spoiler alert, those are excuses, not reasons. So really looking at that intuitively of like, I'll give my book as an example. I wrote the dang thing in the desert. I think a couple of Lynn knows, Steph knows, I go out in the desert and I fast, right? And I'm out there literally near Santa Fe, 3 hours away, just drinking water, no drugs. Everyone asks me that. No drugs, people, just water, right? And these books come out in my leather diary. So I'm like, I'm all pumped. I want to make it happen. Yay, let's manifest this in the world. I come back with this little thing, with my diary. I'm going to, and And this time with this, and it happened right away for the first book, got picked up by New York publisher, blah, blah, all these twists and turns. But this time I was like, oh, well, what the heck am I supposed to do with this thing? It's COVID. What am I? But I finished it and I was writing it, et cetera, et cetera. And I even had a publisher offer to publish it a year ago. And my gut instinct said, no, sit on it. Like, you kidding me? Like, come on. Like, I went out there and fasted again. Let's get this out there. This important message, the road to joy. People are hurting. This is a good time or whatever. And my gut instinct was screaming, no, sit on it. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding. Well, now as I'm finalizing the rewrite, now a year later, I'm like, oh, I have learned so many more profound lessons. And I am teaching some of the things I wrote in the book in a much better way. So this book is so much better a year later than if I had pushed, make it happen, make it happen, make it happen. So I was glad that I checked into my intuition, even though I was like, come on, I was like fighting it, like, come on. Yeah, but I was like, no. And I sat on it. And then by sitting on it, that's how I now have the opportunity to put it in yet in front of another publisher that might be bigger by sitting on it. So you have to listen, if I had just been go, 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 or, oh, well, I guess I'm just going to sit here, wait for the Mr. Pizza Man to show up at my door, happens to be married to like Oprah, or Stedman's niece or nephew or something like that's not going to happen. So that's an intuitive thing for you to check in with. When is it time to co-create, make this thing happen? When am I kicking back? Whether to get more information, maybe there's more internal stuff you need to work on, etc. Okay, and I lied. There's one more tip. So I call it the desire drive-in. We'll see if we have the time to actually do the tool. But the idea of it is it doesn't work to manifest by saying what you don't want. Imagine if you like drove up to like In-N-Out Burger and like the pimply kid is like, yes, what would you like? And you're like, I definitely don't want fries. He's like, okay, what do you want? Well, I definitely no potatoes. I'm sick of potatoes. I've had too many potatoes in my life. No more potatoes. Well, this kid's like, well, it's not enough to know what you don't want. What do you want? And you have to be specific enough. I'd really love some food. That would be amazing. I'm so hungry. He's like, great. Got a restaurant full over here. What kind of food? So not in the negative, as I speak in the negative, only in the positive, right? I would like a cheeseburger, a chocolate malted milkshake, hold the pickles. So what do you want? Not just what you don't, and not too vague that somebody doesn't know what to do with it. The other thing with the energy of intention of manifesting, which you all have touched on, when we do this internally, we say, I want. Externally, I want this, I want this, I want this. But internally, we're going, I don't deserve it, or I'm doubting it's not going to happen for me, or I don't have the time or the money, or I'm too young, or I'm too old, or I'm too this, or I'm too that. And that's like hitting the accelerator and the brake on your car at the same time. Where's the car going to go? It's like, you can't be like, and you can't, it doesn't even work to take all these outward steps. I'm going to start doing all this stuff. But if inside I'm still doubting myself, well, that's why it's not happening often, or it's happening more slowly. So really being mindful of what am I say I want this, but what am I telling myself inside? Okay. All right. Any questions on that stuff before we jump in experientially? Cool. All right, let's do this. So those of you who have worked with me before, Steph and Deb, I like to start off first by just close your eyes, really lean back into whatever piece of furniture you have going on, a chair, sofa, whatever you're on, and allow your body to just be a blob. This is not, perfect. We're not sitting upright, in perfect Buddha position. We're not doing ab crunches up in here. Just really lean back and feel the furniture supporting you. Have your feet flat on the floor if you're reaching the floor, and feel the floor underneath you. Often when we don't feel supported in our dreams and desires coming true, or things happening for us as fast or the way we want, just starting with feeling the furniture supporting us is a wonderful start. So I, being the beach bum that I have absolutely now become. I like to imagine being in a beach chair, and mine is awesome. It's like memory foam. It has drink holders. I'm like, I got the special Cadillac one, right? A little awning for a little shade. And so as you're leaning back, imagine the yellow ball of sun up in the sky melt in your muscles like an ice cream cone. Melt, melt, melt like an ice cream cone in the sun. And then bring that yellow ball of light, imagine bringing it down into your head and dissolving your brain in all directions. Now that sounds very Halloweenish, but dissolve your brain. Remember, this is not going to be our most useful tool to hear what we know, we need, and want. And keep bringing this yellow ball of light, swirl it around your head. Those of you who are familiar with the energy centers or chakras, your third eye or the energy center between your two eyes is your intuition. So swirl the yellow ball on the inside of your head. Some people like to imagine popping any blocks out like a cork. Just open up your intuitive space. While you're there, open up the tippy top of your head. This is your energy center that connects you to source, God, the universe, the big picture, whatever you consider to be bigger than our puny lives. And focusing on the top of your head, imagine opening up that space all the way open, 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 like a flower all the way in bloom. And imagine, before we continue with the yellow ball, just a power shower of pure white, sparkling love and light coming down from the heavens, down through the center of your head, down through your body, front, back, all sides of you, washing away any ick or stick, any doubt, any excuses, any heaviness, any fear about manifesting your dreams and desires. I want to imagine like a muddy dog under the hose, just, this power shower. It's like a million diamonds sparkling in the sun. This is the color. Those of you who love colors or interior designers always say the colors have energy. So this highest vibration, sparkling white, pure love, pure light, washing down through you. And as all of the heaviness and ick and stick falls away, it instantly hits the ground, the earth, like a giant drain. Mother Earth just instantly incinerates it, blows it up on contact. And in its place, as you're washing yourself clean, inside, outside, front, back, all sides of you, as all the heaviness falls away, you're filled with the sparkling white love and light. Some people picture like a snow globe with glitter, just really filling your space. And now imagine putting a rubber bubble up all around you, claiming your space, top, bottom, all sides of you. It can be as close to your body or as far away. We're just going to put ourselves in a little protective space here. It's called bubbling up. And the nice thing about bubbles is they only have one door that only opens from the inside. So everybody shut the door. Doctor will not see you now. Do not disturb signs. No housekeeping, thank you, whatever, on the outside. Yeah. And just keep washing out your bubble with this power shower of sparkling white love and light, high vibration. And you can just keep that shower going. And we're going to continue with this yellow ball of sun. Now is going to go down into your throat, front, back of your neck. This is your expression energy center, creativity. We want to swirl the yellow light and loosen and relax that. The yellow light is relaxing you, relaxing that space, opening that space. This is where you express yourself, your voice in the spiritual and literal sense of that word, opening up your throat chakra. Now the liquid yellow gold comes down your shoulders, your arms, down your hands, out your fingertips, flowing out into the floor. So many times we are making, creating, holding, doing with our hands and arms. Allow your arms to just be ragdoll arms. There is nothing to do or create right now. And as you continue bringing that yellow liquid gold down into your heart, front and back of your heart, your upper chest, we are super familiar in the West with this energy center where all emotions lie. Any heaviness, doubt, constricting feelings, criticism from yourself and others. You can't do this. You don't deserve this. Just allow the liquid gold to melt it all away. You can melt it away, and then do the power shower on top. Some people do combo action. Just relax that space to be open. And continuing to bring the yellow liquid gold down into your solar plexus. In the front, it's where your ribs come together. In the front and back is your empowerment energy center. Do I feel confident? Am I in my power as a spirit, as a woman, as a person, or am I giving my power away or letting other people take it from me? Ooh, super hard, in fact, impossible to manifest when we are not standing in our power. Won't happen. Certainly not the right people, the right situations. You may attract some things, but it's gonna be a mixed bag. It's gonna be like, oh God, this is not what I had in mind. All right, and keep bringing this yellow liquid gold down all the way into your womb area, below your belly button, lower back. This, people, is supposed to be your fun chakra, the energy center of play, joy, laughter, whatever that is for you. Good food, good wine, gardening, dancing, reading, right? This is the energy center that we really want to open up, because manifesting is fun. Getting what we want is fun. This is fun. We want to open that space. If you have any cobwebs, wash them away, or use the yellow sun to melt them away. Some, little copper kettles, like, a little, like, melt that. If you've been not letting fun in lately, just melt it away. And then keep bringing the yellow gold down now into the area that is called your root chakra. This is on your perineum, halfway between your anus and genitals. And this is your energy center concerned with safety and security. This could be physical, food, water, shelter. This could be financial, scarcity versus abundance. This can be emotional. Am I okay? Is the world okay? So the first thing we're going to do is just clear out with that yellow liquid gold, just any ick or stick or anything that needs to be relaxed there. Just, okay, I'm going to be okay. I'm okay. The world's okay. I can do this. The universe has my back. And if you've used a grounding cord before, go ahead and choose what you like to use. If not, a grounding cord is an exercise where we're going to take a moment to pick something that you want to use to attach to your first chakra, to your safety and security energy center, that we're going to drop down straight to the core of the earth. Now, I use a redwood tree with roots. Sometimes I use bull kelp. Other people use an anchor and chain, a pole. So just pick something right now that you want to use as a grounding cord. It could literally be a cord. It doesn't have to be, but something substantial. No weenie grounding cords here, guys. And then once you've attached it, let it go, anchors away. It knows the way down through the chair. It lowers itself down through the floor, down to the upper layers of the earth, slow and steady. Down your grounding cord goes to the middle layers of the earth, down, 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 all the way to the iron core of Mother Earth. And you can either wrap it around a few times or stick it in like an anchor, depending what you're using. And let's just take that power shower from above and wash it all the way down, not only our bodies, but all the way down our grounding cord into the earth. I like to say it's important when we are getting into our highest selves, our intuitive selves, to be a double-ended plug. We have to connect both to the earth and to source above. If we just do poses or grounding exercises to the earth, we often forget we're supported and we lose the big picture for ourselves. On the flip side, if we're just like, oh, I'm going to spend all my time at the top of a mountain meditating, and we're not living on this planet and this earth, grounded to the earth, it's hard to manifest in a pragmatic way. So double-ended, both directions, grounding to the earth and connecting to source. So just check in both directions for yourself. And last, we'll finish with this yellow liquid sunshine going down around your hips, your pelvic girdle, the tops of your legs, backs of your legs, across your knees, down to your lower legs, tops and backs, your feet, your toes, all the way out to the floor, and just let your legs relax. Again, there's nowhere to step to, nowhere to go, just taking some us time to really focus and make that time to go within. So just take another few moments, breathing deeply in and out, relaxing. Noticing any areas that maybe need a little bit more relaxing, relax them 10% more if they're still feeling tight. You need some more power shower of love, just wash. You could, like a European handheld, you could take a little shower off the hook and more of my heart, more of my shoulders. Okay, more of my back. Give yourself some more clarity and light. And the last thing we're going to do is I'd like everyone to think of a time when they felt like they were really their most authentic, happiest, best self. You could be a kid, you could be with someone else, it could be recent, they could be ages old, but sometime when you're like, oh, I was happy when I was just taking that hike. Oh, I felt at peace. Or, oh, I remember what that felt like to dance around like a mad woman, whatever it was. And as you're remembering this moment in time when you felt like your truest, best self, I want you to first notice, what are the qualities of my truest, best self? I am goofy. I am proud. I am strong. I am peaceful. I am confident. I am powerful. Whatever they are, everyone has a unique energy stamp. This highest, I call it your highest self, your best self. This is uniquely your own. And so once you get a sense of, these are my qualities, imagine giving your highest best self an enormous bear hug, merging with those qualities into every cell of your being, saying in your mind's eye, I am that. I am powerful. I am confident. I am loving. I am funny, whatever your qualities are. Until you really feel yourself pulsing with the energy of who you truly are. We cannot manifest from a place of lower self where we're angry, jealous, blameful, etc. We manifest from this place. We connect to source and the earth, do a clean, bubble up, and get in your highest best self. Now you've set yourself up to manifest. And so with your eyes still closed, I'm going to walk you through a very brief exercise, a visualization called the I call it the manifestation movie. So the first thing I want you to do is pick your movie theater. You can imagine walking into one of those, old school movie theaters with the velvet seats. Maybe you have a more modern one now where those seats go all the way back, like lounger chairs. Maybe you're in your home in a couch with your surround sound entertainment studio, wherever you like to watch movies. You can have popcorn, soda, whatever it is. Just nestle into, okay, I'm getting ready to watch my manifestation movie. And imagine that big white screen in front of you. And before we begin, pick just one area of your life, one thing that you'd like to manifest. It could be in your workspace and career space, could be in your relationships, your health, your home, life purpose. It could be anything. So just pick one. And so now the title across the page begins. So across the screen begins. So if you picked, health, you could say my ideal health, the movie of my ideal health. If you were wanting to focus on manifesting more in relationships, my ideal relationship. If you're looking more at my ideal career or my ideal life purpose. So give your movie one of those titles based on what you're working on, my ideal. And then the movie begins. And I'm just going to ask you some guided questions. No need to answer them now. We'll share at the end. But just notice if anything comes up for you as I'm asking you these questions. And it may not, but it also may. So the first question is, just notice in your ideal scenario that you're manifesting here, where are you? Are you indoors? Are you outdoors? Are you both indoors and outdoors? If it's an indoor setting, are you in some sort of an office building, an amphitheater, a house, a hut? If you're outdoors, are you in the woods, at the beach, walking a trail? Just kind of notice, where am I as I'm manifesting this? And the next thing I want you to do is look down at your feet. What am I wearing on my feet? What kind of shoes? Or maybe I'm in bare feet. What kind of feet do I have? What's going on with my feet? And what other clothes am I wearing, if anything? Am I in casual clothes? Am I fancy? What kind of shoes and outfit do I have? What am I walking? Maybe you're naked. I have no idea. What are you doing in your manifesting, right? Another thing I like to notice is, who am I with? If anyone, I might be alone as I'm manifesting and looking at this ideal thing I want to manifest. Am I by myself? Am I with others? If I'm with others, are they people? Are they animals? Are they plants? If they're people, what age? What backgrounds? These adults, children, teens, from different backgrounds, from this country, another country. You might get a sense of where you are geographically. Am I in this country or overseas or both? If you're with animals, what kind of animals? Plants, what kind of plants? And see if there's other sensory information. Are you hearing anything as you're getting this movie short of you manifesting your ideal, whatever it is you've chosen? Do you hear anything? Any sounds? Do you smell anything in particular? Are you tasting anything? Are you touching anything? Any sensory information? And most important of all, how do you feel? How do you feel as you're manifesting your desire? Do you feel excited? Are you calm? Are you nervous? Do you feel valued? Do you feel clear? Because most important when we're manifesting is how we feel. That's the energetic vibration we're putting out there. Remember, with my house, I said I wanted to feel expansive and bright and creative. That's exactly the type of space I ended up with. That was the most important thing of all. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. And let's share out. All right. So let's start with Steph, and Carrie and Lynn just nipped off, but we'll be back. Oh, here's Carrie. So Steph, what, anything that came up to you in terms of information as you were, and what were you working on? What were you manifesting? What was the movie?
So the movie was Steph Goes Emerald.
Uh-huh.
And which is my next rank in Plexus. So yeah, so it wasn't like super crazy out there. And what I got was kind of more, it was a beach scene, but there was this palm tree there, and it was a palm tree that it was four, but they were like at the base, they were kind of combined and they were flat. And then each trunk went up. And so I was just kind of like around, walking around on the base of the palm trees, kind of hopping around. The foam of the water was coming up and back. And I was barefoot. I was wearing just like some sarong kind of thing. It was just a very like easy, breezy, playful. Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect. And from the classes, like you can look up, oh, why palm trees? Why the beach? Or you can write in your journal, why
four?
Why
Yeah.
4? Yeah, really use your intuition. Why 4? But it was clearly a clump of trees. What does my gut tell me those trees represent? And you were walking around them. You weren't one of them stuck. You were mobile, kind of walking around while the trees were growing together yet apart. And you were kind of walking around feeling great. I feel good. I'm in my sarong with my little toes in the sand, right? Yeah. And so whatever you do tactically, for lack of a better word, when do I co-create? If it doesn't have that feeling of, oh, this is fun, I'm relaxed, I'm chilled, I'm at the beach as I'm like helping others grow and supporting them, walking around, but I feel good and if it doesn't feel like that, that's your first clue intuitively. Ooh, whatever I'm doing or not doing, that is the wrong way. This is your North Star, you guys. It's your energetic North Star. Like this is how, like I said, with my house, it feels like what it is now. Like, oh, light, bright. Any homes I saw that were better deals or this and that, I was like, it didn't feel like that. That was the wrong direction. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, I love it. All right,
Thank
Carrie,
you.
how about you? Any information you got? And what were you working on manifesting?
Mine was just the beach also. I was just wanting to be relaxed at the beach.
Yeah.
So, but I did the same thing, very similar, no trees or anything. I think I was just alone at the beach, barefoot, walking, sunny, feeling the ocean breeze. Yeah. that
And what was the feeling of the breeze and walking around? What were the adjectives would you give to describe this feeling?
It was actually, I was a little stressed. So that was maybe not, so that when you said that maybe that's not it, that maybe that
Well, were you stressed because you got distracted during the exercise? Or
probably, I was kind of falling asleep. So then I just laid down and listened to you.
Good.
I was totally awake during that
Yeah.
part when I listened.
Yeah.
So maybe I
Okay.
had to let go of everything.
Yeah. So Carrie, can I do this in my class
Yeah.
all the time. Are you
Sure.
down for me using it as a fishbowl for a second to push you a
Yeah.
little deeper? Okay.
Definitely.
Like, welcome to, sorry. All right.
No,
So first of all, Carrie, close your eyes
mhm.
and take some deep breaths, just in and out, in and out. And you guys can do this with her if you want to. So close your eyes. And when we get a stress response, the first thing I go to is, our bodies are terrific messengers in letting us know. So the first thing I want you to notice, Carrie, is when you're inhaling, are you breathing all the way down into your belly, or are you shallow breathing more from the waist up?
I would say down to my belly.
Perfect. And the other thing to notice is, am I really letting it all go in a nice big, like jaws parted and like really exhaling and letting all of that go, or some of it not being fully released?
I'd say it's probably not being fully released.
Perfect. Yeah, I caught myself holding my breath in the shower the other day. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm like not 3 years old, like, yeah. So really just work for a couple rounds, and the rest of you guys too. Notice like, okay, I don't want to be shallow breathing, holding my breath. Those are signs of stress, cumulative stress to be precise. Those are signs of little, not like, oh, trauma hit by a car, but like cumulative stress over time when we're either shallow breathing, like, oh God, chased by the tiger, kind of this autonomic response, or I'm not fully letting it go. So I always go like, okay, I'm not going to force it, but just, okay. And I like to say the word calm when I let it go, CALM, calm. And I like to breathe in something positive, like, I'll know when it's time to know, calm, or it'll happen when it's right, calm, really let it go. So then once I'm in that, like, okay, perfect. And so then go ahead and make sure your bubble is up, door is closed. And how would you describe your moment in time when you felt like your truest, best, most authentic self, happiest self?
Free.
Mm-hmm.
Laughing, dancing.
Uh-huh.
Am I supposed to be thinking of a situation? Or
No, you're just the qualities. Exactly.
yeah.
I don't have any right or wrong answers, Carol. You're doing great because you're being authentic.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So free, dancing, laughing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Laughing, like wind blowing in my hair.
I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
So now let's take that highest self and dance her onto the beach.
Mhm.
She's laughing. She's at the beach. Maybe the wind, a little breeze in her hair. You're hearing the waves, like, yeah. And I don't know, are you also in like a bathing suit, or are you just walking around this wrong? What are you wearing?
Sorry, that was my alarm. It just went off.
That's okay.
I would say, yeah, probably like a sundress, like a flowy
Yeah,
So,
something flowing, free, that same energy. I get that too, not constricting. You're not like in a booby push-up bikini or something. You're
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Like nothing constricting. You're like, hey, flowing, easy, breezy. Yeah. And so for you, what your spirit is showing you energetically, you want to manifest, and that's why there are no rules at this game. It's your spirit, right? Is I want to manifest this feeling of peace and freedom and fun and flowing. And so for you, your tool is going to be whenever you go into stress, oh my gosh, my alarm is going off. Oh my gosh, these people want a piece of me. Oh my God. You just take 3 seconds, to imagine yourself dancing around, twirling in the sundress or feet in the water. It's like, I'm just flowing and laughing and dancing at the beach.
mhm.
And I literally will do this with mine just for like, I don't know, 5 seconds. I just shut my eyes, take my breaths, make sure no one's going to interrupt you, bubble up, and then get in that zone. And that'll be a much needed baseline for your spirit, because that's the energy with which your spirit
Mhm.
wants to manifest. I feel peaceful. It feels free and flowing.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for that.
I love it. Okay. I cannot read that. What does that say? You can say,
Power and release, and it's quick. Stuff
Yeah.
said. Mhm.
oh, good. I love it.
That's awesome. Thank you.
All right, Lynn, what about you? What were you working on manifesting? What did you get? What was the feeling most of all? Oh, unmute. Sorry, sweetie. Unmute.
Sorry. So what I was manifesting was ease in my growth, and plexus, in health, and guiding people, just feeling natural and supported while I'm supporting.
And did you get
And
any information? What was kind of going across the movie screen?
well, that was what was so weird, is because I can't really even think what it was that was flowing around me, but it was
love that.
warm and fluid, and it was very supportive. Maybe it was warm jello, I don't know. But it was not warm jello. It wasn't moist at all.
Yeah.
But my feet didn't even touch the ground. I was sort of above. I was kind of going through the forest at one point on the pine needles, which is so odd for me because I'm very much the beachy. It's always been the fabric flowing in the breeze at the beach and all that kind of. But this was, and maybe it's because I'm smelling pine around me. I don't know, but it was.
Let me ask you, Lynn, what does the smell of pine mean to you? Does it feel comforting? Does it feel, what are your associations with pine?
It's cleansing.
Aha.
Yeah, it is something that I breathe deeply when I smell it. It's kind of clean and probably free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, your spirit is giving you all this intuitive information, like, okay, well, I'm surrounded by, and depending on your openness to angels or spirit guides or support from the other, oh my gosh, there might even be a guide supporting me. There might even be getting support on the astral on a whole other level, in addition to my friends and colleagues. Like, and people often describe that feeling of there's a guide or presence. I don't know, it's kind of this energy, and it was supportive and loving and warm, and I kind of felt it here or here, right? So really feeling like, there may be more support than I even was allowing in my 5 senses to come in. And as I'm growing, I am both supporting others, but being supported. And this feels cleansing. And that's why you got pine, because it has, your spirit was showing you a pine forest. And yes, it is also the pine around you, but that's no accident that this is the room you're sitting in, not your bedroom. So yeah. So the same
I love
thing.
this stuff.
Yeah, it is fun. So, and it's the same thing I was just saying to Carrie. So this is the energy for you. You're going to be like, okay. So as I'm manifesting whatever it is, around my health, my growth. I'm going to remember all the support and flow I have. It's cleansing, it's growthful, and it's mutual. You know, I always draw the infinity sign for reciprocity, like you're supporting and being, if I do it sideways, like you're supporting and being supported back. You're supporting and being supported back. It's like a flow, right? Like that 8 on its side. So that I very much got that too, as you were talking. It's like, oh, I'm supporting and the flow's coming back. Yeah. Oh, I love it. All right. Debbie, what about you?
I was in my optimal health, being able to come from a place of that, of feeling kind of like I always say stuff like walks, like, what do I say to you? You walk the whatever, you walk the walk, or you walk the talk, but being, you know, like that myself, and my body like aligning that so that when I'm doing the thing that I want to do the most is help people with their health, that I'm a clear representation of all the parts in mind, body, spirit, to go along with it. And I always like look at my belly and think that I'm not walking the walk, you know.
So Deb,
Because-
Debbie, I'm gonna fishbowl you too, sweetie. Can I do it?
Yeah, you know, I got some anxious stuff going on there. I was
No,
like,
not at all. It's a matching picture for a lot of people. So, permission to fishbowl you?
yeah, sure.
A verb. I just made it a verb. I'm fishbowling you. It's official verb. Okay. So close your eyes. And I want you to imagine wherever you feel that energy of I'm beating myself up. If I have any flab or pooch or anything weight on my body, I'm a hypocrite. I'm a fraud. All those big fat lies, like on BFLs, big fat lies you're telling yourself right now. If you're feeling it in your belly, I want you to imagine scooping it out of your belly, throwing it out as far as you can hurl it into outer space and watching it blow up so far away, you're like, it's gone. Or you can take a baseball bat and bat it out there. You can shove it in a clown can and light the fuse, blast it out of there, but just get that lie out of your space. Because what I got as you were talking is how refreshing for most people to look at a body that feels more real, who is working on her health. I can relate to her. I'm not expected to look like a Barbie doll for this work. And these products, it's like the Dove soap commercial. Do you remember that one? They started having like real women instead of the models, right? And they put them up all over the gyms. Like, this is what a real Dove girl looks like. It's like, we have flab in the shower. Sorry, spoiler alert. Like things go south in the winter as we get older, whatever. So really loving like, oh, if this is what I'm manifesting is while I'm working on my own health, rather than beating myself up, what a huge asset I have. I'm accessible. I'm a real person who could talk in a real way about where I've had triumphs and successes with my health and my weight or whatever it is you're doing, your energy, whatever parts of your health, right? Here are the parts where I'm still working. Ooh, is that a huge asset? That's a really huge asset. And so really owning that and imagine like just giving yourself a big hug of like, yes, me and all of my where I am now, all of myself that I love, all myself I don't love, that makes me so real and so accessible to everyone else. A lot of the coaches at Shine Your Light are like, oh my God, but I'm not perfect. How the heck am I supposed to coach anyone else? I'm like, then you share vulnerably what you're working on because that makes you real. And anyone who says they have it all figured out and they have it all together is either deeply in denial or doesn't want to admit that they're struggling inside. Nobody's perfect, right? We learn, we grow, we learn some more, we grow. It's like, it looks like this, right? It's an iterative process. Use a big SAT word, right? Like we make some progress, then, some new lessons, we make some progress, we go like this, right? That's real. Or sometimes the curve looks like this. Oh my gosh, we're doing real well. Now I feel like poo. I'm doing really well. Now I feel like poo. I'm doing really well. Right? But it's still going up as we learn, as long as we learn. So, okay. So let's look at your movie. So here you are in ideal health. This was your manifesting ideal health. What were you noticing around you? Were you alone with other people?
Of course. Just dancing and just like feeling really happy and with my friends and just like no worries, no stress, just dancing and feeling my best health and just being really happy.
I love it. So that is the energy that you are going to be dancing your way to your ideal health,
Yeah.
right? And that's a different feeling. Like Carrie's dancing was like flow and peaceful and beach. Yours is like, woo, yeah, I can see you in this group of like, like not exactly clubbing, but yours was more like, hey, joyful, more, kind of that kind of amped up ecstatic energy in a good way, like you, fun, play, right?
It's
yeah.
interesting to say that because I think that that I like before COVID, I really was in really good shape. Like I felt good. Like I was like, I mean, it wasn't like perfect shape, of course, but I really did, and then COVID happened and then I kind of let, all that happen. So, but it's an easy shift to get that back, that because I think like listening to you say that it is a mindset thing.
Exactly. And
it
I
is,
didn't,
yeah.
I didn't plant you, but you're taking me where we're going next. So everybody close your eyes again. This will be a quickie. In your highest self, in your bubble, in your manifestation movie, whatever bubbles up to your consciousness, go with it. This is the right answer, whatever comes up. And if nothing comes up, that's okay too. But I want you to see what is one step. Remember, act on the aha. What is one action, which could include non-action, by the way, that is an action, doing nothing. What is one action or non-action you can do toward manifesting your desire? And when you're ready, open your eyes. Don't wink at me, both eyes. You can wink at me if you want. All right.
Yeah.
So what did you get, Debbie? What is one step you can take toward this more joyful dancing approach toward getting back into ideal health? What's one step?
Well, it's kind of interesting because there's this one girl at that I like as an instructor, and this other instructor told me like, hey, if you work really hard, you can look like her because you have the same body shape. Mind you, she's 30, but it doesn't matter. Anything she tells me to do, I'm doing it. Like, and I don't even get tired. Like I'm doing it and I'm like, I don't even think about, oh, I can't do that. I'm like, no, I'm doing that.
So this is an exercise class you take.
Yeah. And they're hard. Ask Steph. And like, there's no question in my mind that I'm doing the class, I'm following what she's telling me to do, and I'm going to do it. Because one person told me that I could look like her, and that I have the same body shape as she does, and if I work hard, I can do it. So that's what I'm like, I've been going every day now for a while.
Okay.
And
So
I'm like, her, she probably thinks I'm checking her out.
Well, hey, she's probably flattered.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I'm going to do that.
So there's two steps I'm hearing, an internal and an external one. I'm hearing the external one of I'm going to keep going to this, exercise dance class that I love. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to keep that positive flow of, sure, I can look like whoever I want. There's no limits here. Sky's the limit. I'm going to keep externally doing that and keep reminding myself, yeah, that's not such a hard shift. Yeah. I love it. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Carrie, what about you? One step, what bubbled up to get in this peaceful state more often?
Sleep.
Yeah. How often? Earlier? Any details?
Earlier.
Okay.
Because I end up waking up early, and so then if I don't get to bed early, then it's
So what time would be ideal for you? Let's make it a little more. Okay. So ideally in bed by 10. Perfect. I love it. All right, Lynn, what about you?
I think it gets back to creating that space for the learning and the sharing too, but in feeling myself and what I feel like I want to give.
So what's one way, one action step or one specific way you can create that space? Can you set aside 15 minutes in the morning or every lunchtime? I'm going to go for a walk, or like, what's a specific thing that comes to mind that would feel fun? Remember, this is fun, people. Yay, manifesting.
Right. When the sun comes out. So let's see. Yeah, 10:30. every day, inside, outside, doesn't matter.
Mhm.
I will create 20 minutes for
I love it.
myself.
And you can do whatever you want with that 20 minutes. But it's your space, it's your time. And it may be the same thing, maybe a different thing. Maybe today you're getting, going for a walk. Maybe tomorrow you're sitting with the plants. Maybe the next day you're just staying in bed, but I'm going to be here for 20 minutes doing nothing. It could be anything, right? I love that. Perfect. All right, Steph, what about you? One concrete step.
Well, first of all, I will not be texting Lynn at 10:30
Oh,
during the day, but I might be texting Carrie at 9:30. Like, are you getting ready for bed?
Yeah. Just don't text her 10. She's like, I'm in bed. Leave me alone.
Yeah, right. I hate you. Yeah, so I just had a visual of me on a hammock, and it wasn't like, it was just like my arm was kind of hanging down, had a nice smile on my face. It was more the intention of feeling the good feelings. Just like taking time or a break each day, which I don't have a hammock right now, so I'm gonna have to figure something out, but to kinda
Amazon,
just-
baby.
yeah.
Might be
Yeah. Because I always say that, like, people always go, well, the manfish, you got to feel the feelings, blah, blah, blah. And I always
No,
think,
so Steph, go to the feeling. What, so we're in the action step stage. So short of actually moving to Hawaii and slinging a hammock between a couple of palms here, you
Mhm.
just started to name it. Like, okay, so every day I'm going to take some time to get that feeling of like, I'm so chill, my arm is flopped over.
yeah, it's just
So,
ease.
yes.
To just like receive ease, to welcome ease.
And when would be a good time for you for that? In the morning when you're first waking up, at the end of the day, a lunch hour, you just sit in your car and flop out. When would be good?
Yeah, it's probably more around a lunch hour, because I think by the end of the day, I need like pre-relaxation before I can relax.
That's right. That's right.
But if I catch myself like midday, I can do it. Yeah. And I get a pretty consistent lunch break every day.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
my hit for you is like away from gizmos. You didn't have a thing you were texting on in the hammock with one hand with the other one flopped. You weren't in the office with people calling and like, go outside. Even if it's raining, go sit in your car, and don't bring your cell or turn it off. Yeah. That space for yourselves. All right. Well, let me bridge this to I know that some of you need to go. So I'll bridge it to your vision board. And then if people want to hang on, I have a bonus exercise we can do, but I'll do the vision board first. So most important is the feeling. And so honestly, if you want to do a vision board and make it visual because you find that helpful, then do that. It can be all kinds of ways to do the vision board, right? Some people clip things out of magazines and blah, blah, blah. Some people just draw something. Some people like to do it now graphically on their computer, a la, what is that place where everyone gets like ideas for party decorations? I'm spacing on the social media thing.
Pinterest.
Pinterest. Yeah. A la Pinterest, or you don't have to do it at all. And you might say, you know what? I'm going to do mine in words, and I'm going to create these words around the page. So the idea of a vision board as a tool is that you have a reminder of what you're energetically putting out there. I mean, Steph will probably kill me, but if the vision board isn't working for you as a tool, then come up with something to share when you guys meet next. What else is that visual? Maybe it's a painting that I look at. Oh, it's of the beach, or a photo. Maybe Carrie puts that on her screensaver and like, oh, that, and with the flowing, whatever. Maybe, I don't know, Lynn is getting like air freshener smelling like pine and sticking them in every room and like squirting the dog, or I don't know what with pine salt, whatever it is. And Debbie is dancing in the car as she's like stuck in traffic. And like, oh, I am that 35-year-old. However, the idea is you're putting it out there to make it more concrete. That's what the intent was. So I don't know if, if everybody, it's mandatory, they have to do the traditional vision board, or if you want to leave it open, but my 2 cents would be whatever you do as a tool, the only thing that matters is the intention. This is all energetic intention, which is why I laid those sort of ground foundation pieces at the beginning about how to have successful intentions. But yeah, Steph, what are your thoughts on that?
Excellent. No, sounds good.
Whatever you want. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So you ready for your 30-second bonus manifesting tool?
Absolutely.
All right. If you want a little bonus 30-seconder, here we go. Everybody close your eyes. This is called Golden Hellos. And I have like a bag full of tricks, but I'm just pulling out some because these are fun and popping out as ones you might enjoy. So, all right. So we have all done our movie manifestation, visualization. Most important of all the information is the feeling. This is what I'm manifesting. This is how I feel when I'm manifesting it. And so now we do want to send it out to the universe. And my favorite way to do it is through a process called Golden Hellos. And the way that you do this is, I imagine standing out in some sort of open space, it could be nighttime, daytime, I don't care. And you're going to send out in all directions, almost like road flares or fireworks or carrier pigeons. People use balloons, magic carpets. You can do whatever you want, but you send it out in all directions where you're saying, hello, hello, anyone out there who can help me manifest this? Here I am. And whether it's you're directly going to be a connection or you're just going to happen to know somebody who gives me, but anyone who can help me directly or indirectly to manifest this desire, hello, hello, here I am. And most importantly, with the attitude of now accepting applications. Not desperate, not, oh my God, I hope, I wish, like, hey man, you'd be lucky. You would be lucky to be working with me, right? Empowered self, highest self. If you're gonna, be helping me to be feeling great about my health, lucky you, you're going to benefit too. Or to feel a sense of peace, guess what? You're going to get that feeling too. You're going to do better in your health, and I'm going to be an emerald, whatever. Well, guess what? Your body's going to feel much better too. Or I'm finally going to take space for myself to grow and support others. Well, guess what? You're going to learn how to do too. So lucky you, you lucky dogs, now accepting applications. Hello, hello. Send out your golden hellos in all directions. Anyone can help you manifest your desire. And open your eyes. Well, thank you all very much. This was super fun working with you tonight. Thanks, Steph, for inviting me. Good to see everyone again.
We hope we get to see you.
Yes.
Yeah, and have fun with your, curious to hear, I'll follow up with Steph.